Okay, hi, this is Frankie, and that's not what it says on the screen, but it's not Rebecca. I don't know how to change it. So this is Frankie for another Soul Sisters Meets, and this time it's with Kayleigh of Mullberry's Magic, one of our collaborators. So hiya, welcome Kayleigh.
Hi.
Hiya. So I'm just going to do your introduction and let everybody know what it is your magic is. So Kayleigh works from her own space in Birkenhead, incorporating a fabulous witchy boutique, a treatment space, and a meeting place for circle ceremonies and rituals. In the way of treatments, she offers master level Reiki and master level crystal therapy, crystal Reiki facials and massage, and most importantly, she offers a place to listen and to be listened to in a Zen space, which is dedicated to well-being. In her boutique, you can treat yourself to candles, crystals, and all manner of witchy accessories and so much more. Okay, so welcome, Kayleigh. How are you?
I'm really well, like I'm thriving. I'm absolutely thriving. Like I'm so blessed that I've just been in receipt of such a good surrounding of women, and everybody's like thriving in their own way, and if they're not, they're looking for help, and if they're looking for help, they're then going to be thriving, and it's like this magic circle of people that are just finally going to be starting to feel normal. So yeah, I'm just really grateful to be here to help and to give the healing and to give the recognition that people need, and if they need someone to listen to, I'm there for them. It's a very intimate space at the boutique where you are being heard, and you are being heard by the universe as well. So
yeah, and I think, I mean, that I loved getting that message from you the other week, which was what kind of prompted this call and this Soul Sisters Meets was, those were your words, was like, I'm absolutely thriving, and we hadn't spoken in a number of months properly. So it was so nice to, not nice is a bit bland. It was amazing to hear that. On two levels, because I think you did a couple of online ceremonies for us for sort of closed groups, which were just so special, and we weren't kind of sure how it was going to go, because it's not really your medium, is it? Online, you like to be in person. And we were just so bowled over by what you'd actually put together and how it went and how it felt. So number one, I'm really pleased that someone such as yourself, this type of recognition is doing so well. But also, I'm so pleased for the people that and the women of your area who are getting this kind of contact with someone, because as you say, it's that thing of being heard, which I think is probably 99% of most of the issue, really, isn't it? As we look into society. And so your area, Birkenhead, how are you? Has it always been that it's a big response and a good response, or has it been building, and is it sort of reaching a peak, would you say?
It's always been building. So when I started out, there was a number of people that were like, oh my God, there's finally someone here that I can come and have a treatment, or I can have a little shop and do some crystal shopping. And because it's such an area that's not had this kind of world attached to it before. Like in terms of, you can go and buy crystals, or you can just come and have a cup of tea and have your cards read, or so there was a gap there for someone to come in and be like, I'm here for you as a woman. If you need my support, I'm here for you. And then the witchy side was just because I am a witch, and I think there's a witch in all of us. Not quoting the Practical Magic film, but there is a little witch inside of all of us, But it was just a gap, and I just thought, this is my world. I want to start sharing my world with others, to come to a ceremony, or to come and burn a spell candle, or to come and buy a fun mug for somebody and have a lovely experience when you come in and be made to feel safe. So I just feel that I'm just getting there with, I've got like regulars that come, the full moon now. I've got a little coven. So that's beautiful. It's just growing and growing and growing. I'm so blessed.
Yeah, yeah. And I think, you know, when you said about there's a witch in all of us, I think it's so true. And I think, you know, for me as well, I think it's important just to make to be clear that, you know, witchcraft is basically herbal medicine. It's basically the ancient wisdoms of the woman, isn't it? It's not actually, you know, stirring the pot and doing scary things. It's about your ingrained wisdom. So I think when people start to come in with an open heart and mind to a situation that you're providing, they're actually remembering something as opposed to learning something new, aren't they? I think it's like this ancient memory of, this is actually what we were supposed to be doing. We're meant to be looking at what the moon's doing, and we're meant to be looking at, you know, speaking our words, and you know, the word becomes true, the word becomes flesh, you know, that's everywhere. And I think, you know, witchcraft is just a way of expressing that, isn't it? It's expressing your intention out loud and creating ceremony around that. So yeah, I think when people finally open their eyes and open their hearts to it, like I say, it becomes something quite familiar and comforting, as opposed to maybe the past kind of scary aspect that people have had of it.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah,
true.
definitely.
Like, I'm always saying to people that are a little bit skeptical, like, what is it you do? And when you say you've got a witch's boutique, what does that mean? And I'm constantly saying exactly what you've just said. These are natural gifts that every woman is given to look after themselves and to protect themselves. You know, women were burnt from the 14th to the 17th century for being a witch. And well, no, it went on even later than that, sorry. But you know, it started in the 14th century, and we hold a lot of witch wounds as well as women. You know, we hold pain in our womb that we don't know why. And it's because, and pain in ourselves, and it's because of how we were tortured and treated back in the, you know, a long time ago. And we carry these wounds on. Many of us are descendants from witches that were burnt, and none of us know. We don't know, but we sometimes hold pain in our bodies, and there's a reason why we feel anxiety. And sometimes it's because of witch wounds, and it's about unlocking that, and through womb healing and through Reiki sessions, and you know, through spending time with me, that we can kind of unpick this.
Yeah.
No.
And I think it's really interesting that you brought up the witch wound, because I was almost wondering whether to sort of delve into it with you, because you know, some people don't want to talk about it and don't want to deal with it, because you know, again, these women that were burned were just the wise women of the clans, weren't they? They were just the people who knew how to do stuff. You know, you didn't.
There's wise woman. That's
Yeah.
if you look up you know, another word for a witch is a wise woman, a sorceress.
Yeah.
You know, it's a wise
And
woman.
I know when I first discovered about the witch wound in myself, the way it's always manifested in me was a fear of being seen, because, you know, to be seen was to be in danger. Yeah. And I think that comes through in a lot of women, where they, you know, they really fear putting themselves out there in any way, shape or form. It doesn't have to be in the mystical arts or in energy healing. They fear putting themselves out there and showing themselves as powerful or special, or, you know, in any way, you know, standing out from the crowd for anything other than looks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the only thing that's been given to be acceptable for is standing out for your beauty. You know, you can't stand out for being powerful, or you can't stand out for, otherwise there's a derogatory aspect put on that. And I think the witch wound definitely showed up for me when we started doing things like these videos of actually sitting here and talking about something and being really open about it. And you do have to do work to heal it. You have to do the work in order to reclaim your own natural powers.
Yeah, that's amazing that you've said that, because you know, in all of us, we have that fear of being, I mean, I didn't tell anybody that, you know, that I was a witch, you know, woo, it's very private, but because the fear of standing out is your amygdala in your brain, which is like your nervous center, would be set off like a smoke alarm because you're in danger. And it comes from when we were in caveman days. The amygdala would be set off and it'd be like fear, 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 fear. And I get that even now, like, you know, I'm wondering, oh, do people think this and do people think that? And then I think, just embrace it, because this is who you are, this is who you were, and this is who you are now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think those, you know, those days of, it's a much more enlightened people that we're talking to, particularly in the last few years, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, a few years ago, you know, if you said you didn't eat meat and, you know, you used herbs for things, or, you know, you use spell candles, or you use candles to invoke energy into your life, people would be like, what? Or you burn bay leaves or something like that, you know, people would be like, oh my God, like, what the hell is this? But now it's so much more forgiving, and people are so much more open to this now, which is amazing. We need more.
Yeah, 100%. But it's way showers like yourself, isn't it, that get that done? You know, you put yourself out there. Because I mean, even just looking at the fact that you're Reiki master, it means you've been at this for a number of years, because otherwise you wouldn't have that level, you know, and you wouldn't have that, you know, that these you know, more measurable qualities. You know, it's about the years put in, and it's about, you know, building that. So you've obviously, you know, it's about people like yourself putting themselves forward and creating these spaces, and then you find, you know, that there is a need for them, there is a desire for them, there is something intrinsic within people that even if they're a bit nervous going in, the need is in there, and it's, you know, it's drawing them towards you. So in terms of your actual treatments, so I know I've done a little overview. So what's Reiki, in how would you encapsulate that? I know a lot of it is also within crystals, isn't it? It's about using the two energies together. So can you just give a little overview as to what that is in your words?
So Reiki is a movement of energy in the body that's never been moved before. So it's almost like a detox of energy that flows through your body. And we move the different channels, the chakras, we move those different energy fields and return them and get them moving again, to help boost your level of enlightenment. So that would be how I'd explain Reiki. It's the movement of energy from my body. I'm just the vessel. I get the energy sent through my crown, which is here, sent through my body, and then I extract it into you. So I'm using the universal energy to help heal another. So I'm just the vessel. I'm just the person that absorbs your negativity energy. It could be sadness, it could be anxiety, it could be depression, it could be happiness, and it could be, you know, you feel elated, but I absorb that back into me, and then I deal with that through meditation after the treatments. So it's basically to have my body heal you as a person, and to help you be enlightened and for you to grow. And then at the end of the session, I then home in on where I felt a lot of heat, or where the pendulum was going crazy over the body. And then I extract that down and give you information. For example, you know, if your throat chakra was out, I'd feel a lot of heat there. The pendulum would be going crazy. And I'd use white light and healing and crystals to put into that space for it to give a soothing effect. And then at the end of the treatment, I'd say to you, you know, we need to work on our throat. You're either being really, really aggy with people and not meaning it, or you're completely in confidence. You know, there's something you need to work on this chamber just to help you move forward. And then I'd recommend some foods to eat, some crystals to use. I always give my clients a complimentary crystal at the end of the session that I feel that would help with their journey as well. So say it was the throat, I'd be recommending sodalite or lapis lazuli or something like that, or maybe a little bit of fluorite if you needed the confidence.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what they need and when they need it. I always do a grounding spell as well. So the spell goes, your veins are now the roots that bind you to the earth. You are safe, you are grounded, you are protected. And I use a big chunk of black obsidian and black onyx and black tourmaline to help bind your roots that now connect you to the earth. So your veins actually become roots. It's really powerful when I do it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just a beautiful session. You also get the crystal therapy thrown in, where you place with crystals on your main 7 chakra energy points. We do some gridding with clear quartz around the body as well. And we also do aura cleansing, which I use with a huge feather and sage. So we're really getting rid of that negativity, that darkness that could be inside you, that negativity. Other people can sometimes pass their negative energy onto you as well.
Yeah.
So
especially if you're empathic and open. People don't know how to protect themselves as well. That's one thing I've found is, people, and not just found with other people, when I learned how to do that myself, was a game changer.
Yeah.
Because you are literally just everyone you're interacting with. And it almost has to be a daily practice, doesn't it? Of first protecting and then giving back at the end of the day, you know. And I think that, it's if you're not well versed in that, you definitely need to, in my opinion, be seeking some Reiki in your life and just get that, get those energies moving and worked. And everything you're saying sounds very bespoke, and I think that's the difference with this kind of energy work as well.
Yeah,
you're getting something so specific to you. You're walking home with advice that's specific to you. You're getting an insight into because yes, we're talking about energy and chakras, but these things manifest themselves in the body sooner or later, don't they, if they're not dealt with?
They absolutely do. And this is one side that is quite important, is that if you don't start seeking help for your body and your mind through energy, you will get ill. I know it's quite strict and it sounds quite, oh my God, like a bit strong, but if you are holding anxiety or stress in your body, it will manifest into something physical.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
by me doing this work, and by me doing this work to help people and to get that energy moving and that organic flow happening again, it's just essential that everybody's getting some sort of healing. It really is essential. And even if it is just a little bit of crystal therapy, or it's a full session of Reiki, which is an hour, whatever it is that you need, I'm here to give that to you as a gift.
And I'm fascinated, like, the vanity in me is fascinated with the facials, because I know that I know myself, when I go through anything, it shows 100% in my face.
Yeah.
I hold stress, tension, I hold, grief, whatever it is that comes up. I can map through different photos of myself what I was going through at those times. Yeah. So it is, by releasing the sort of the facial issues, are you releasing some issues as well? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Are you releasing stresses and tensions?
Yeah, so I use different crystal gua shas during my facials. So obviously you get a hot steam, you get a double cleanse, but then I use crystals on the face to draw out the tension and to draw out the negative energy, because you, as a human being, we hold energy inside us. And through time, it can manifest into your face, and you can feel that you've got a lot of tension here because you're frowning and lines appear. And with a facial, you kind of, especially if you're empathic, energy holds itself inside you even more. So, when we're using crystals to kind of draw out and pull out that negative energy, and through your lymphatic system, it drains out through your body. Facials are just a beautiful way of not only looking more glowy and hydrated, but also we're moving energy in the face as well, and we're drawing that energy out of the body into the lymphatic system and out.
Yeah, amazing. And I think there's something about that touch on face as well. Is like, it's very childlike, isn't it, to have someone like mess with your face? I think it's so soothing to have that kind of touch.
Yeah. And it's the same with massage, Frank. You know, when I'm doing a Reiki massage, we're doing the effleurage and we're pushing the energy down the body, around the body, and up through the body and out again through the lymphatic system. So your body's getting this hot stone experience, but also the stones are actually fully charged from the moon. So they're getting their moon charged as well. They're lava, they're lava stones. And you're getting this amazing energy that's flowing down through your body, but you're also experiencing it with the hot stone as well. It's just
wow,
beautiful. You'll have to come in.
Yeah, don't worry. I really do, because I think as well, like I've been doing like an energy practitioner's course over the last year, and so I've just qualified in all this as well.
Oh my gosh, amazing! Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, I'm going out there myself, but I'm so conscious through doing it of the importance of receiving treatments yourself, of learning, when you're learning all about what the body's actually doing, and you're learning about, the necessity for touch and fascial, release and things like that, all of those things, which I did all that years ago, but I let it go through doing other things. But yeah, it's very interesting. It's awakened my sense of my own needs, which I think any therapeutic course does, doesn't it? It awakens, it awakens you to, wow, this is actually just what everybody needs, and I need to be getting this in order to give out. So yeah, exactly. She'll be coming down, and I'll give you a little practice on me energy medicine, and you can give me your opinion.
I love that. We can do an exchange. We'll do an energy exchange.
Yeah, ace. Yeah, we'll get that locked in. So just sort of a brief one, because I think this has been a really lovely chat, and so much has come out that I wanted to. But I would like to just have a little chat about your why, like what drives you, because I know it's different for everybody, and I do think it's the sort of work where you have to very much keep in touch with your why, don't you, in order to, be able to continue. Because like you say, you're taking on, you're literally taking on physically and emotionally and energetically these issues for people, and then you are doing the work afterwards. So your work doesn't end when they walk out of the treatment. No. Your work continues and is continuous, I think, isn't it, to have to keep yourself in a state that is able to do this.
Yeah.
So what's your why? What are you what drives you?
Women, literally, I think because there's been such a sense of sadness and anxiety, and this word anxiety is quite a well used word now, and there's a lot of women that are going through a lot of private traumas and lots of personal issues. I just feel that I was supposed to be here to be giving treatments and to be giving messages and to be a listening ear for women that feel that they don't have that support. And there's a waiting list for the NHS to have counselling. The counselling people are overrun with people, they're doing their job amazingly. But I just wanted to give something more on a personal level, in terms of it's not just, then they talk to me, I actually talk back. Whereas with most counselling services, it's one-sided. But I just wanted to be here for women and to give something back, and for me to be able to say, you're not alone. You are not alone. Come to me, speak to me. I'm here for you. I dedicate my whole life to others, Frankie. I'm here for women wherever they are to come together and to have the healing. And I'm just here for everybody. Like, I give myself fully to everybody.
I think it's, just beautiful what you're saying, but I think it's like one of the purest forms of love you can give. I think because, to be in service, especially in these times, because it's what it's doing for the individual and the collective is enormous.
Yeah.
You know, and having been, as I say, in your ceremonies, just in your presence, to be honest with you, I think you've got something so special. And yeah, just keep on keeping on, please, because it's well needed.
It is.
It is. So you can find Mullberry's Magic on our site on Soul Sisters Universal, and I'll put all the links to Kayleigh's entry on the directory. And yeah, all that remains for me to say, Kayleigh, is thank you very, very much for giving up some time today.
You're welcome.
And thank you for being one of our people who, you know, came on the site and put your trust in us and became part of this collaboration, because it's, you know, it's going from strength to strength, and we're just, you know, those building blocks, and who we've got on, we just love every single one of you. So thank you very, very much.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so
No
grateful
problem.
to you and to Rebecca as well that we met. We've definitely met in a past life, you know, and now we're finding our
100%.
roots again.
I recognised those eyes when I came to see you at that market in New Brighton. I looked in your eyes, and I came back to Rebecca. I was like, "There's something in this woman's eyes." Like, eyes, and it was like, yeah, I know you. So yeah, thanks, Kayleigh. And yeah, we'll hope we speak again soon, and we will speak, because we'll get that energy exchange locked in.
Yes. Thank you.